So, viewers, I promised to discuss about how the Lord protects us as human beings. He protects us very well. As you know, as humans, we take things for granted. We take life for granted. We take the air we breathe for granted. We take everything about us for granted. We take this planet for granted. Like, we can't even associate planet Earth with the Lord. Like, someone who's ignorant would not hesitate to deny that God and earth are tied together. Stupid people, and I'm not afraid to call it what it is, will talk about many gods who is occupying the planet that they did not create, right? It wasn't many gods. It wasn't the God of the spirit, the God of the wind, the God of fire. It was the creator of it all that has it all, that made it all, that created it all. So when stupid people belittle themselves, because intellectually, that's basically what they're doing, belittling themselves by placing limitations, by accepting smaller powers than the ultimate one. I mean, if you ask me, if I had a choice between a lesser power and an ultimate power, you best believe I'm going to choose the ultimate power. The Lord God Almighty, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the great I am, Jehovah, Yahweh. So, Abba Father, and other names for various times of life's existence. God has many names. So God protects us. Now, these individual entities that people label God with a little g, like spirit God and stuff like that, don't have the will and the way to protect us because they are not the creator of it all. So they ain't in control of, like, meteoroids missing humans on the planet Earth. Because let me tell you, we got 7 planets, 9 planets, whatever you want to call it. I guess they dwarfs every once in a while. Every 5-10 years, one become a dwarf. We delete a planet and add a planet all the time. But anyway, the planets receive asteroids and meteoroids hundreds of times a day. Google it. Hundreds of times a day. Something is hitting the damn planet. All except planet Earth. Can you quick answer that? Can you quit justify that? Can you quick and do it? And we not really, this is what we take for granted, right? And when a meteoroid or an asteroid it hits no one, and we don't hear about a lot of them. I'm from Milwaukee. I'm in Wisconsin on the Great Lake, right? So we had a meteoroid hit, right? And nobody said nothing about it. They called it a coincidence. They didn't even consider it a coincidence. They didn't even pay no mind that it didn't kill nobody, because it didn't land on the land. It landed in the lake. It's a great lake, but hell, from space, it's a nothing lake. It's a nothing lake. Okay, so this meteoroid been traveling for hundreds of years, maybe even thousands of years or light years, right? And aim fucking well, bullseye, right? Excuse my holy French. Aim very well, right? Because this is intense to me. This is very intense to me. To make the obvious apparent, to address what's been taken for granted for so long in our lives today. Because I can talk about whether or not there were non-believers, whether or not there were atheists, or whether or not they were evil people in the beginning. That's another subject. I'm going to get into that at another time. But back to our protection that the good Lord does for us. Okay? We're on a humongous planet. Why stupid people and ignorant people talking about we outpopulating the planet, that's anti-critical. Antichrist, not anti-critical, to what God intended. Be fruitful and populate the world. If God was not perfect, then planet Earth would really be overpopulated, and planet Earth would really not be able to withhold all these people alive on the planet. But see, God is perfect. God is perfect. Period. No need to go on. So straighten out the thought process of this fathomable stupidity. Right? So humans on the planet Earth is basically dust flying in the wind from space. We don't have no impact on this ginormous, immeasurable planet that we think we can try to calculate. And besides the point, we are so damn tiny. Excuse me, but we are very tiny. We are so tiny that from space, if there was other life out there trying to invade, they'd never know we were here. And you don't consider that protection because you take it for granted. But up in space, you can't see a person, you can't see a car, you can't see a train, you can't even see a plane, let alone see a bird. You can't see nothing moving from space. You can't see a ship. You can't see nothing, an animal. You can't even see the waves. And they get 100 feet. Right? We are protected. We are protected. And our pea brain, dust in the wind selves here on the planet Earth think we got more might than the Almighty himself. We think we can think on behalf of the Almighty when Almighty says, my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. Right? We can't even think like something that's supernatural with our natural, asses. Okay? So we are protected here. Right? It ain't no phenomenon. It ain't no coincidence. We ain't lucky that damn meteoroid traveled 1,000 light years or 100 light years or 1 billion light years for many light years, through the transformation of the planet Earth in its development, right? Because it's forever changing, right? Right